This is a quick demonstration of doing Linux and Docker and Visual Studio Code in Linux on a Windows machine under WSL 2. And one of the things that makes this easier and more friendly for me now, for all of us, is this Windows terminal. Windows has always had this really crappy console. And now they've come out with this Windows terminal that gives you kind of Linux parity. So the terminal actually has the ability to have multiple tabs, which I know as rocket scientists, right? It's rocket science here. But the other thing is it can have different operating systems. So in different operating systems and different prompts. So this one here is PowerShell, and this is actually a Linux command prompt in my WSL. And the way I did that is I just clicked on this Ubuntu, so I can open up a regular command prompt, a PowerShell prompt, an Azure Cloud Shell if you have an Azure, which is really cool. And I can do it Ubuntu, which is actually my default Linux on my WSL too. So that's what I did here. And in this case, I'm going to just do Docker. And we can see that'll start pulling down some Kafka, work for another talk. And then I can come over here. Ooh, I cheated. And what I'd like to do, so I'm in the Linux file system. I want to run Visual Code to do development in Linux while I'm sitting on my Windows box. So I'm just going to type, and you can see here I'm in a Git. That's weird. Oh, let me go. All right, so you can see here that I'm sitting in a code tree, right? It's a Java project actually, and I'm just going to do code dot. And we should get a Visual Studio window, Visual Studio Code window. Opened in that directory, it's actually running the split mode with the server running on Ubuntu as a service while the GUI runs here in split mode. And you can see that we are activating the extensions actually on the local and remote side, and we are now connected remotely to WSL Ubuntu. If we were remoted into a Docker machine, which you can also do, then this green bar would say Docker. But in this case, I'm remoted into a Visual Studio Code server running in WSL Ubuntu on my Windows machine, and I'm doing remote development to that Linux machine, which is actually on the same box. And that's it. I think this is kind of cool, right? We can do this remote development, and now Windows actually has a reasonable terminal that does the cool thing of letting you pick whatever prompt you want. And that's it. I hope this is useful. If not, leave a message.